who all have been watching me live. I bid good evening once again to all the viewers, and I have been waiting for questions from your side so that we can produce the right solution of your questions. So you can put forth your difficulties. आप अपने प्रश्न रख सकते हैं। जब तक कोई प्रश्न नहीं आता, मैं बिगिनर्स के लिए कुछ टिप्स देता चलता हूँ जिससे काम आसान हो सके। तो कल हमने बात किया था कि कौन कौन सी कॉमन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, व्हाट आर द कॉमन प्रॉब्लम्स फॉर एन इंग्लिश एस्पिरेंट वाइल लर्निंग द फॉरेन लैंग्वेज। इसको सीखने में कौन कौन सी मुख्य चुनौतियाँ आती हैं। तो उसमें हमने वर्ब रिलेटेड कन्फ्यूज़न के बारे में बात किया था कि unless we know the difference between finite and non-finite verbs, we have a great misunderstanding. And this cannot be done with the help of a thing called memorization. Just by imitating others, it cannot happen. हम किसी को बोलते हुए देख के हम सारा इंग्लिश का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं सीख सकते। तो फॉर द नेटिव स्पीकर्स ऑफ इंग्लिश इट इज़ गुड, बट फॉर द पीपल like who doesn't have proper idea about the fundamentals of English language, उनको डायरेक्ट लैंग्वेज पे जाना एक जल्दबाजी होगी। तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं से शुरू करना चाहिए, whether it is parts of speech or the kinds of sentences. So ये भी एक इम्पोर्टेंट बात है कि इंग्लिश कहाँ से सीखना शुरू करें, कहाँ से बेहतर हो, जिसका परिणाम सार्थक निकले। व्हाट शुड बी द टॉपिक टू बी डेल्ट विद इन द बिगनिंग। शुरू में वो कौन सा टॉपिक हो जिसको पढ़ के एक अच्छा होल्ड, लैंग्वेज पे अच्छा होल्ड हो सके। तो इसके लिए मैं सजेस्ट करूँगा कि लैंग्वेज इज़ comprised of a few kinds of sentences. So why not to begin our language with learning the few kinds of sentences. अगर ये बातें क्लियर हो जाती हैं, ये हमें समझ में आ जाता है कि लैंग्वेज डिपेंड करता है कुछ काइंड्स ऑफ सेंटेंसेस पे। जैसे हम लैंग्वेज में किसी भी भाषा में हम लोगों से बात करते वक्त कितने प्रकार के सेंटेंस इस्तेमाल करते हैं। सवाल ये नहीं कि कितने सेंटेंस इस्तेमाल करते हैं, सवाल ये है कि हम कितने प्रकार के सेंटेंस इस्तेमाल करते हैं। क्योंकि जब हम सेंटेंसेस को गिनने बैठेंगे तो दे कैन बी इनफाइनाइट, बट if we talk about the kinds of sentences, so they are limited, and they also are the guarantee that anybody can learn the few numbers of the kinds of sentences. अगर कोई भी व्यक्ति अगर kinds of sentences को समझ गया कि वो 4 प्रकार के होते हैं, तो मैं एक कमेंट देख पा रहा हूँ, आप अपना नाम भी लिखें तो अच्छा होगा। आपने पूछा है वेयर आर यू फ्रॉम। तो एक्चुअली आई एम फ्रॉम दानापुर कैंट, इट कम्स इन पटना। पटना से हूँ मैं, दानापुर कैंट है यहाँ। आपके पास कोई सवाल हो, इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज से रिलेटेड कोई डिफ़िकल्टी हो, एंड you should also tell me from which part of the country you have been watching me. आप कहाँ से हैं वो भी लिखें। कोई जवाब नहीं, कोई बात नहीं। बट फिर भी मैं ये कहूँगा कि आपके जो डिफ़िकल्ट सिचुएशंस हैं इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में वो सामने रखें, उनसे रिलेटेड जो सवाल हैं आप रख सकते हैं। और मैं कह रहा था कि when anybody understands that there are only nice to see you, my dear. You have told me that you belong to Philippines. So welcome. I am from India. This is SK Pandey, an English faculty. So I am here to take up all your questions. If you have any difficulty in understanding the concepts of English language, I am always ready to help you. Please forward your questions. So I was talking about the language formation. So from where should a beginner start the journey of learning a foreign language called English? Isn't it possible for every beginner to have a good hold over this language? Of course, it is very much possible. If I could make it happen, anybody can make it happen. Because in the beginning, I also had great difficulties. The biggest difficulty was from where to begin, how to begin, and which book can help me deal with all the problems coming in language, and who would be the best teacher for me. So after I have great sum of experience into this field, I have been experiencing every sort of students. I am going through the difficulties, the different kinds of students are navigating through different kinds of difficulties. They have many questions. So I am always ready to take questions from your side. If you have any question, please put it forward. I will try to respond within no time. So I was telling that this language was a great difficulty for me as well in the beginning, but now it doesn't look like a problem. It's a kind of joy for me when I go with this language, when I use this language. It doesn't look like that I am not a native speaker. It can happen. If it has happened to me, it can happen with anybody. But in the beginning, it is equally important to understand the facts and concepts being used in English language, because it is not our language. It is true that it is very important. It has been internationally accepted language. So I want to gather, by the help of this platform we call Spell English Expert. We are dealing with all sorts of problems associated with English language. So without having knowledge about the concepts, our command over language is never complete. So I advise all the aspirants of English language to begin their journey of learning a new language from the kinds of sentences, because words have their 8 kinds, and these all 8 kinds used in a language, they are called parts of speech. So it is rather easy to understand the parts of speech than to understand the complexities and how the other kinds of sentences are connected, combined, and synthesized. So it would be better if we begin. So somebody has been trying to ask a question. She has asked सवाल का जवाब दीजिए. So Sulekha Kumari, I can see you. You are from Patna. And what is your question? Unless you ask your question, how can I respond? And I hope people are watching me from every corner of our country. So, okay. So you told that you have been at home, right? So I was talking about formation of a language. Some important things to remember how to form a language. Two things are the most important things in language formation. First, tenses, the use of tenses, and the kinds of sentences. If we talk about the kinds of sentences, they can never exceed four by number. They have the four maximum kinds. There are four maximum kinds of any sentence. Whether we use, sometimes we use statements, sometimes we ask questions, and these two are sentences, but they are apart different from each other. They are quite different from each other. Statement is a sentence, but it has some different function. Interrogative sentences means sentences meant for asking questions. They are different from statements. So, like this, we have two more kinds of sentences. They are imperative sentences meant to order or advise or to uh, to request somebody for something. These sentences are called imperative sentences. And the last kind of sentence is exclamatory, through which anybody can express a sudden feeling or he can produce a wish. So all these four kinds of sentences are the total and the complete among the classification of tenses. If talking on the basis of their function, they can be maximum of four kinds: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. And the whole story of language gyrates around the all four kinds of sentences. Statements and interrogative sentences are used for most of the time, for in 80% cases, people are using statements. If you open a book, the first kind of sentence is used for 80%, and by the end of each chapter, you are asked a few questions that shows the use of interrogative sentences. So, going through it practically, we can mark that the use of statements are maximum and the use of imperative sentences can be seen sometimes. Sometimes exclamatory sentences are also seen. So we should realize that the most important kind of sentence is producing a statement, and a statement can either be produced in affirmative or in negative. So if we consider for the first time the assertive sentences, if we try to frame frame a few sentences of our own choice. Look, when you imitate others, it shows that you don't want to be the master. You want to be a slave. You believe in copying others. When you imitate, you do not have the formula to frame sentences. And when you frame the sentences of your own choice independently, it displays the biggest quality that you have the skill, you have the art of composition, you have mastered the art of composition. And this thing happens only when you know some facts, some principles, some rules of English grammar. What is right, what is wrong can only be justified and differentiated using that standard. The parameter through which we say anything right or anything wrong is the concepts of English language. So from where does it begin? It straight away begins with so I told them, मैंने जवाब दे दिया कि I belong from Patna. From Patna, I told them already. तो अभी तक बहुत कम लोग जुड़ पाए हैं. शायद हम YouTube पर नए हैं इसलिए बहुत कम लोग अभी जुड़ पाए हैं. But I still have hope a few would join and ask their kinds of questions. I'm happy to take up your questions. So, when we have realized the importance of assertive sentences, we should try to frame a few sentences related with our day-to-day life. For example, we say, if we want to talk about somebody, suppose it is our friend Ramesh. So if we want to speak about Ramesh with the help of present, past and future tense, here is the formula which is called the structure of tenses, which proposes the 5 different forms of verbs. A verb like read, write, go, come. What is the language all about? Language is all about the right use of auxiliary verbs and the right verb forms. If you can manage to act as per the lights, traffic lights on roadside, as you act as per the signals, red, you stop, you understand it completely, that what does the red color mean. If considered in traffic, red color means stop, to stop. So this is the setting of your mind. If you set your mind like this, if the information is set like this, like it has been set regarding the traffic lights, everybody understands, literate, semi-literate or illiterate, everybody has the clear concept that red light means to stop, green light says to go, and likewise. So the word forms used in a language are 100% responsible for your language being right or wrong. These word forms determine your language, whether they are correct or incorrect. So it is better to understand that every verb form, they have their 5 forms. Every verb can have its 5 form: V1, V2, V3, V4 and V5. What is V1? For example, go. For example, go. So if it is go, the second form is went, and this has to be learnt. Third form is gone, and the these two forms are supposed to be learnt. For a beginner, it is advisable to learn the word forms, without which language formation is not possible. And moreover, this is not very difficult task. We can manage to learn it from any ordinary book of English language. It has a set of, it has the complete list of common verbs to be used in English language. So every book has a few pages related with verb forms. So like I said, go, went, gone, these are the V1, V2, V3, and for making any verb fourth form, we need to add ing. Adding ing to any of the verbs makes it V4. And if you add s or es to any verb, it becomes V5. So first and the fifth form of the verb suggest something habitual. If you use according to the number of subject, when we use V1 or V5, they have the clear indication that they talk about the habitual action about the speaker. So if you want to talk about Ramesh, if you want to talk about his habitual action, for example, Ramesh talks, you'll have to say talks. For singular subjects, we have to use V5. Out of the 5 verbal forms, we have to use V5 for singular subjects. एक वचन का कोई अगर हो व्यक्ति या सब्जेक्ट, तो उसके लिए आप V1 का V5 का प्रयोग करते हैं, और अगर प्लूरल हो तो आप उसके लिए V1 का प्रयोग करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, रमेश एंड हिज फैमिली गो, नॉट गोज. और खाली रमेश रहे तो आप रमेश गोज कहेंगे. रमेश गोज टू द पार्क एवरी डे. रमेश गोज टू द पार्क एवरी डे. अगर आपको इसको निगेटिव बनाना है तो हैबिचुअल एक्शन को हम सिंपल प्रेजेंट यानी प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट टेंस में समझते हैं, और उसमें निगेटिव बनाने के लिए डू नॉट और डज नॉट का प्रयोग किया जाता है. जैसे रमेश गोज है तो आप लिखिए रमेश डज नॉट गो टू द पार्क एवरी डे. आप सब्जेक्ट चेंज कर लीजिए, और ये एक सिंपल प्रेजेंट का एक जो फॉर्मूला है जिसमें V1 V5 लगता है, इसके थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस कर लीजिए और आपका बहुत सारा सेंटेंस इस पे बन जाएगा. जैसे माई फ्रेंड डज नॉट हेल्प मी इन माई नीड, या फिर अफर्मेटिव में ऑल माई फ्रेंड्स हेल्प मी इन माई नीड. तो ये अफर्मेटिव और नेगेटिव का कॉन्सेप्ट है. अगर सिंपल को पास्ट में यूज करना हो तो माई फ्रेंड हेल्प्ड मी, आपको V2 लगाना होगा. V2 suggests that something has been done, कुछ हो गया. तो मैंने बुक खरीदा तो I bought, बाई का V2 करिए बॉट. जैसे V1 V5 का प्रयोग ताते ती के अर्थ में होता है, वैसे V2 का प्रयोग किया, किसी ने कोई काम किया, उसको रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए, उसको एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए आप V2 का प्रयोग करते हैं. चुका चुकी के अर्थ को आप हैज हैव लगा के और V3 लगा के लिखते हैं, बोलते हैं। जैसे ही हैज़ गॉन, वह चला गया। ही हैज़ बॉट अ बुक, उसने बुक खरीद लिया। ही एट, ये सिंपल पास्ट का है, उसने खा लिया। बट ही हैज़ इटन का भी कुछ लगभग यही मीनिंग है, बट स्टिल देयर लाइज अ ग्रेट डिफरेंस बिटवीन ही एट एंड ही हैज़ इटन। When the influence of that activity, of that action, does not last, when it does not prevail now, it is simple past. But when the influence of the work, of the action, is still prevailing, it means it is present perfect tense. So we can say we have eaten, it means we need not eat now because we have eaten. Still the food is working, food is there in the stomach. So this way we can understand and frame the sentences of our own choice, taking help from the structure of tenses. Structure of tenses say that every tense, whether it is present, past or future, they have their four classifications, namely simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. Simple is meant to talk about the habitual action, like I produced a few examples. Ramesh goes to school, simple present. Ramesh does not go to school, simple present. Ramesh is going to school. I am composing the sentences, framing them according to the formula. In the structure of tenses, there is the set of formula meant for every classification of tense. So if it is present continuous, subject plus is or am plus verb's fourth form is used, and this way it becomes Ram is playing, he is playing, they are dancing, present continuous. Present perfect means something has been perfected. What has been perfected? Ram has eaten, Ram खा चुका है। क्या हो चुका? खाना खा चुका है। Ram has eaten. But if we want to give a blend of continuous and perfect tense, for example, it has been raining for 3 hours. It is the blend of perfect and continuous. That's why it is called present perfect continuous. When it is present perfect continuous, has or have been according to the number of their subjects plus verb form, verb's fourth form plus since or for according to the point of time or the period of time. If it is concerned with point of time, since is the right preposition. If it is concerned with the period of time, for is the right preposition. So this way we can complete the four classifications this way. Ramesh reads in my class, Ramesh is reading in my class, Ramesh has read in my class, and Ramesh has been reading in my class for 1 year. Likewise, we can shift to past tense. The very first classification of past tense is simple. Simple past uses V2. Who did what? Ramesh bought a car. Buy, bought. This is the second form. Buy is the first form, bought is the second form. Ramesh bought a car last year. Next is continuous. Ramesh was playing cricket. खेल रहा था. Ramesh had submitted the assignment. Ramesh had been teaching me for 2 hours. the shopkeeper had been deceiving me for 6 months. It means this task was being performed for a number of months, and now it has stopped. So anything that talks about the past, it is past tense. So all that we need to do is to understand the structure of tenses. We have to memorize a few things like the structure of tenses, and after that we will have to frame a few sentences from each classification to make sure that we are conceptually correct. And this way we will be able to frame sentences of our own choice. We will no longer be dependent upon others. We need not memorize the sentences. We can memorize the structure of tenses, that is the formula using which the whole world has been writing perfectly well, speaking perfectly well. So I hope you understand these important things, and will uh, will put up your questions in the next session, and because the time has exceeded now, so see you again, join you again live tomorrow, and till then I bid good night to one and all. See you, bye bye.